With the 2022 college football season on the way rapidly, time to start talking about college football as a whole, and especially my Texas Longhorns. And that's the team I've been following since 08, 09. I'm from Austin, so I've been rooting for the team ever since I started watching football, all up to this day. Yes, it's been a sad journey, but the sky is looking up just a little bit, and we got to talk about why that is. We're going to talk about the top 5 players for the 2022 team and my estimation for this upcoming season. Hopefully these guys do not let me down, or I will be very upset. But without further ado, let's talk about the top 5 Texas Longhorn players for this 2022 season. Number 5, we got Bijan Jameson. He is one of the fastest dudes on the team, and he uses it to his advantage most times. As a returner, he's one of the best in the country. Pretty much since he stepped foot in Austin, he can take the top off a special teams unit, whether it be kick returns or punt returns. It was hard for me to put this guy on the list of top 5 guys coming into the season just because he's not really trending in the right direction in terms of production. In 2021, it was a down year. It was his worst year out of the 3 years he's been a starter. Last year, he gave up 3 really bad deep balls that resulted in 30-plus yards or more, compared to only giving up 1 in his previous 2 seasons combined. In the return game, he did record his lowest average since his freshman year. To be fair to Jameson defensively, a lack of a pass rush has a lot to do with him and the rest of the DBs having to cover for extended periods of time, and eventually those guys are going to crack. They're human, so. And another reason for the struggles could have been him having 3 different defensive coordinators in as many years. So obviously he's not able to build that chemistry, not able to build that camaraderie along with the other guys on the team, with the defensive coordinators that have came in and out over the years. I put him on this list though just because I know what he's capable of. He is capable of being one of the best returners in the country. We've seen it in the past, guys. He's taken kick returns to the house, although some of them have been called back, which doesn't make me happy. Even, not even just him going for touchdowns on those returns, him getting 35, 40 yards on a return, setting up our offense for a great field position, and our offense most likely takes advantage of that. So, as a returner, he can have a huge impact on the offense as a whole just because he can give us shorter fields to work with. If Jameson can swing the tide in terms of field position, it'll do wonders for our team. Bijan Jameson, I think he's in for a bounce-back year this year, and he's going to be one of our best players on the team. Number 4, we have Ovie Ogwumike. Ovie is a guy I think can be one of the best defensive players in the Big 12. Y'all remember that year when Joseph Osai in 2020, when he was an absolute monster, finding himself seemingly making every other play every time the ball was snapped. Yeah, I think Ogwumike can have that same type of impact. Hopefully they'll put him closer to the line like we did with Osai, because when we moved Osai closer to the line, he took advantage. He's a guy that's strong enough to battle with linemen at times, but he's also fast enough to get around them on the edges, whether it be run plays, whether it be chasing the quarterback down, trying to keep him contained in the pocket, and tackles for loss, things like that. With that being said, I am a little bit concerned with our overall size as a defense. It seems like we're a little bit small at a lot of positions, but we make up for it in speed and athleticism. So hopefully the play calling and personnel packaging will, fit what we have as a team. We saw so many flashes of Ovie making a huge impact last year, and there were a lot of moments where he didn't make the actual tackle, he didn't make the actual play, but by the eye test he made the play, if y'all know what I mean. We saw him being very disruptive, and hopefully that consistency is there that whole year. He was slightly inconsistent due to his role at times, so I think he's going to be the starter, going to be a starter on that defense. He's too good not to start, and we're going to see what he can put up, man. He's a very talented guy, so we're going to need him because our defense was very poor last year fundamentally, like it has been every other year since I can remember. But hopefully we can change that, and Ovie Ogwumike is a great place to start. Number 3, speaking of defense, we got Mr. Armband himself, DeMarvion Overshown. Agent Zero he's not just a player that's concerned with his on-field swag. He also is concerned with bringing opposing players down. Overshown is a guy that has transformed over the years at Texas, as he started out as a safety, and now he's playing linebacker. In 2020, he made that full-time transition to linebacker, and it's been doing wonders for us. I applaud him and his unselfish type of attitude to change positions, doing what was best for the team and best for him, honestly. He still has much of that safety speed and that safety body. He can track guys down, but he has added a lot of strength and power over the last couple of years. So he's able to play in the trenches, play after play. He's very durable. So the reason why I think he'll be one of the more important players for the Longhorns in 2022 is that he's pretty much the leader vocally, and hopefully he is the leader by example as well. For this defense. So his stats don't blow anyone away, but I believe he makes a bigger impact than the stat sheet indicates. He's always around the ball, even though he might not always make the actual tackle. It allows other guys to finish off the play. He definitely still has safety tendencies of not wrapping up and just trying to hit stick guys. But yeah, that's one thing he has to really work on. But other than that, he's a very good overall player. And like I said, more than anything, I think he will need to continue to be a leader for the guys. I would love for us to blitz Overshown more because he has that speed, obviously, to get to the quarterback. Coaching is going to be a huge part of these guys' success. Obviously, that's always the case, but and with our team specifically this year, coaching more than anything is going to be put under a microscope. Because there's no reason why our guys should not succeed in the positions that they're in. So, number 2, we get into the exciting part now. We got Xavier Worthy. This guy was one of the best freshmen in the Big 12 and one of the best freshmen in the country last year. With his electrifying play, dynamic speed, and swagger, Xavier Worthy is setting himself up to have one of the best receiving seasons in Texas football history. In his freshman campaign, he broke all types of records. In his first 5 games, he had 2 or less catches 3 times, but in his last 7 games, he had 4 or more catches in 6 of the 7 final games. That included the 9-catch, 261-yard, 2-touchdown performance against heated rival OU, and he would have been, the hero of that game if he would have won. He was absolutely ridiculous in that game, showcasing what he can do on national television in front of everyone as a true freshman in the Red River Shootout. It gave me the chills. That game, along with the Texas Tech game, put this guy on the map, and he will 1,000% not be overlooked from here on out by opposing defenses. It will be interesting to see how defenses play him this year, and if Sark can find more creative ways to get him the ball when he's probably seeing 2 guys eventually. With that being said, he can be also a decoy for us offensively, and it can open up the game for the rest of our guys as well. Hopefully he's gotten a little bit bigger and stronger, not too big or too strong enough to slow down his speed, but enough to just add some power to his game, as well as strength, as defenders, DBs are going to try to muscle him up, be physical with him, and he's going to have to get around those type of guys. So Xavier Worthy, yeah, he's going to be one of the best receivers, one of the best offensive players in this year's college football season, and he's one half of the best duo offensively in college football. The other half, none other than Bijan Robinson. Do I even need to explain why this guy's number 1? I think he is the best running back in college football. Call me biased. And he's one of the best overall players, period. And from the time he finally was allowed to shine under Tom Herman, he's been impressing ever since. Last season, in only 10 games with a subpar offensive line, Bijan put up 1,121 yards, 11 rushing touchdowns, 6 yards a rush, and 26 receptions to go with 4 touchdowns. And those stats don't even do him justice in comparison to how talented this guy really is. The eye test says it all. I think all of y'all would agree with that. I love how we used him last year, not running him into the ground, but giving him an ample amount of touches to let him do his thing. What allows him to be great is having another versatile running back in Roschon Johnson right behind him. a very reliable guy. I applaud Roschon so much. He's one of my favorites on the team. He gets the job done in terms of keeping the running game afloat when Bijan's out, protecting the football, and especially blocking, which is where Bijan, I guess if you had to pick one weakness, it would probably be blocking. The game plan will be geared to stop Bijan Robinson, stop Bijan Robinson, stop Bijan Robinson. And granted, yeah, that was the game plan last year for opposing defenses, and they couldn't do anything. So I'm expecting the same result there, but we can also see him as a decoy to get others involved, similar to how Xavier Worthy can be used as a decoy as well. Bijan lined up wide in a lot of instances last year as a wide receiver, and sometimes in a lot of instances we actually used him as a wide receiver. He looks like a natural with anything that he does. It's ridiculous. He's one of the best athletes I've watched in a while. So no doubt he's the Longhorns' best player in 2022. He's going to be the essential piece for the team from even a different perspective in my eyes. With new quarterback to the system, Quinn Ewers expected to be the starter, having the reliability of Bijan Robinson at running back will be a key to bringing the offense along as time goes on. Now, with that being said, y'all let me know who y'all's top 5 players for the Longhorns are. Honorable mention, I will say, is Jordan Whittington, and I feel so bad for the guy because he's been here 3 years and he's only played in 13 career games, but in the games he's played, especially last season, he was very impressive, man, and got hurt in the Oklahoma game. He can never stay healthy. I'm not sure what's going on, but hopefully, just bad luck on his side, but hopefully he can, not catch the injury bug this year and be on the field, because last year it seemed like you talk a lot about Xavier Worthy, but Jordan Whittington was right there with him, you know what I mean? So, I feel bad for Jordan Whittington, but if he's healthy, I would put him in the top 5. That's probably the only reason I didn't put him in the top 5. He's super talented, man, but y'all let me know what y'all think. What do y'all think? Well, I'll save the predictions for later, but this is Jimmy from Just the Facts, and I'm out. Peace.